How's it going, everybody? I'm Andrew from ISC Suspension North America, and today we're installing these ISC N1s on this E36 autocross car. I'm going to show you some of the key features when it comes to installing coilovers on the E36 and go over a few of the features of the ISCs themselves as well. Our N1s come standard with adjustable camber plates and 32-way adjustable dampening. It's a monotube shock body that, new for 2019, features a lifetime warranty. Another nice feature about these coilovers is the preload is separate from the ride height. So what that means is when you lower the car, the ride quality does stay consistent. Our SSS upgraded coilover springs allow for increased stroke. They're made out of a high tensile steel and they're up to 25% lighter than your standard coilover spring. We offer the N1 and the basic in 3 different variations: a street comfort, a street sport, and a track race. The difference between those 3 is the spring rates and the valving. And this allows the customer to choose whatever setup best fits their needs. The bottom mount also has all of the associated brackets needed for the OEM brake lines and things of that nature as well, so you won't have to use any zip ties. So those are a few of the core features with this coilover for the E36, so let's throw them in.
Hey guys, Jason from ISC here. Today we're going to talk about setting preload on divorced strut and spring packages. You'll find these on quite a bit of new cars. Today it's going to be an E36 chassis, and we're just going to chat about how we do this. So we have our spring and our adjustable spring perch set into place. We're going to roughly set our spring perch to what we think we want the ride height to be. I say think because you're probably going to have to do this 3 or 4 times to dial in the exact ride height that you're looking for. So we have our little makeshift pole jack here. What I'm going to do is preload our spring. So we're going to jack this arm up. And just like the fronts, we want to make sure that there's roughly 5 to 10 millimeters worth of preload on our spring. This is a 135 length spring. You can measure the spring uncompressed and measure it with the 5 millimeters worth of preload to be exact if you'd like, but we're going to estimate right there. Looks like about 5 millimeters. At this point you can see that we don't even have the shock installed. Our spring is preloaded. The next step is going to be installing our shock. Just a quick explanation on the rear divorced strut and spring combo. You're going to find this in a lot of different cars, so we wanted to give you an outside look as to what is controlling the rear ride height of your vehicle. A lot of people might think that it has to do with the rear shock. The rear shock is just simply for damping, compression, and rebound. What you're actually going to use to set the height is this spring perch here. So you'll see the spring perch is going to be separate from the spring itself. What you're doing is either threading in or threading out our spring perch to change the actual ride height of the vehicle. Once that's in place, then you're going to apply your preload, as we have shown here, by jacking up underneath the control arm. Again, 5 to 10 millimeters worth of preload in the rear is perfectly fine. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to set the length of our shock. We still have our pull jack or whatever in place. It's holding our 5 to 10 millimeters worth of preload on the spring. What we now want to do is adjust the length of our shock. The top is going to be bolted in, the bottom is not bolted in. What we need to do is either thread it up or thread it down so it meets the bolt hole on the bottom here. So we're going to give it a quick shot, make sure everything lines up good. Grab your bolt. And we are now threaded into place. What we'll do is tighten down this bolt, lower the car down, Make sure the ride height is acceptable. If not, we're gonna retrace our steps and do the exact same thing all over again until you reach your desired ride height. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, so as mentioned before, if you need to adjust your ride height after getting everything all set up and the springs preloaded, we're basically gonna be doing the same thing all over again. So I've already taken the lower bolt off of our shock body here. What now we're gonna do is we're simply just gonna adjust the ride height by changing the length of our spring perch. In this instance, we need the car to go up a little bit. So we're gonna make this spring perch a little bit taller. We should make mention that the length or gap in between the perch and the vehicle is not one-to-one in comparison to what you want to change your ride height. So if you need to go an inch higher, it doesn't always mean that you need an inch more of adjustment on your spring perch. You're just gonna have to, again, adjust it a little bit and then keep on trying out to see exactly where you want that ride height to land. So at this point, we're gonna test this out. We've adjusted the perch. Everything looks good here. Again, now what I need to do is add my 3mm worth of preload and then change the length of my shock or damper accordingly. So that's gonna be about 5 to 10mm worth of preload. And now we're gonna lengthen our shock body again since we are raising the vehicle. There you have it. We'll tighten everything down and give our ride height one more check.